hospital yesterday with.
All right. We are recording, so we are really excited that you guys all jumped on today to talk with us about Epic. You can ask us anything. Our chat is open, but you know what? We got a small group on here today, so if you would like, we can go ahead and unmute you, or you can chat in, whichever you prefer. Today, we are going to review anything you want to review. It is an open floor for you guys. We are really excited to offer this. Last time, it was really great working with one another, making sure everybody understands Epic or outstanding commissions or reports. We can do that. All right, just real quick, talk about something that's new. If you are going to our conference, is anybody going to our conference? Anybody on the call going? Hopefully you guys are, and come see me. I'm going to be hosting Peer-to-Peer Connect, and that's where our new agents can come and join and talk with some of our senior agents that are there, and we can bounce off ideas from one another, get to know each other, you know, so you guys can mentor one another. And that's what it's all about, you know, helping each other. So Kate said, am I frozen, Catherine?
Your video is
Screen
frozen.
Gonna be lost.
My video is?
Just a little bit. Now it's
Oh,
kind of
wonderful.
moving a little bit.
Obviously,
It might just be easier to turn it off.
Thank
It's up to you.
They're providing you with the most.
All right,
Accurate
thanks,
information
Kate, for
about
letting me know.
accidents.
Hopefully I'm not gonna freeze in one of these
That if
crazy,
Mhm.
crazy faces. All right, also, if you haven't created your Atlas account, you need to create that. As an agency owner, you need to create it to get your producer reports. They're going to be in there. As a producer, CSR, you should create yours as well, because there's going to be a lot of resources available to you in there. So we want to make sure you guys are creating those. If you haven't, there on the screen is the information for you to create your account. All right, I'm going to jump into Epic. Give me 1 second here, and I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to reshare. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right, guys, we are in Epic now. Is there something right off the bat you would like us to review or to
I
look
saw-
at?
I saw one question already that asked if we can change a line item. I assume that means line type.
Yeah, probably. because
But I'm not sure exactly, but it just says, can we change the line item?
it's comp loss.
Yeah,
Okay,
she meant line type.
so
Oh, that's a great
line
question.
type.
Hi, I'm gonna pose that.
Yes. So I heard you say, that's a great question. So that is a great question, Heather. So when you're entering in your policies and you put it in as a home and it downloads as a fire, you cannot change that line type, unfortunately. You will need to delete that policy and re-enter it in as a home policy. Does that make sense? Does that help, Heather?
And the worst part of that is that it does look like it'll let you change it, but it doesn't actually change it. So that's where the issue happens a lot of times. And kind of on that
That
same,
is very true.
I would say on that same vein, Joyce asked, Heather said, I've tried. Yeah. Joyce asked what the biggest errors that prevent, I'm assuming downloading of the policy. So I always say there's four main things that will cause something to not download. Like if you
can
entered
write
it,
that on,
there's
yeah.
usually four things. One, if you're using a shared code,
Whatever will pop up.
pretty
too.
much, I mean, not always, sometimes it will go into the account, but I always say that in general,
And then there's
it's not
ones
going to
that are
download,
nice,
it's going to go into
easy,
suspense.
helpful, that you can
The policy
apply
number
with
that you enter not matching what downloaded, the
So
dates,
if you knew
the
that
effective
you were
expiration
gonna have the
dates,
same
and the fourth one is that line type.
table, you could
So
do
those are the four main things that'll cause something to not download properly.
Yes, the biggest one, line type, like you just said.
It's the
would
most
be
annoying
line
one.
type.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The most annoying, so you have to
for
re-enter
sure.
it. All the other ones you can edit if you need to.
And then full
Yes,
blast.
you can.
You'd always want
And you can,
that on there, perfect. And then.
with the dates are wrong, you
You'll
can
see that
change
even
that
when
right
dates
over
are
here
all
at the
put here,
bottom
and
right-hand corner
each
where it
book there will
says
be some,
change
like, little
effective and
questions that
expiration
you might have to
date.
answer, like,
You
so
can
are, that's
change
what
it
you
right
want.
over here.
And then you had to
You
find
guys see
titles,
that at the
numbers,
bottom
and
right? It'll be a
there
blue
will still be
hyperlink.
some questions,
Let
but
me
at least
jump
it's not
right
gonna
here.
be like 60
So,
questions.
If you click on it,
So that is. when
it's
you
gonna
talk
pop
to
up
your,
in a hot
carrier rep,
second
just
here,
the level of
and then it is going to give you that option to change it. and it
I know
looks
in
like-
360 I believe they
You have to
do.
find, yeah.
I gotta find one.
Mhm.
I'll have to take a look.
Oh, well, this
in
is great.
carrier coding setup.
Every time she hits
All
find
right.
and nothing's coming up, that means that no one entered that policy in Epic. This is
Um,
why we always stress to enter your policies.
Yes, and so.
And some of you,
all
in a
these
great
carrier
way,
questions
believe, they're
that
like,
you
oh, I
have
don't know
to
why
look
you
up
keep
to
telling me
this
that,
week,
because
they're
of course
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
answered
enter my
on the back end.
policies.
This is
But we
where
can see
if
here
there
that
are
that's
any
not always the case.
carrier questions that you have.
Right.
So
And the
there
other
was a
thing
period
too,
of
could
time
be
now
possibly
because
you have the
all the stuff
policy
is in
number
active
wrong.
Right.
on the back end.
The
So those
policy
your,
number with the
logins are all
carriers,
there.
if you
All those
forget to put
questions that
this
you're gonna answer
AUP
that
in the
carrier
front,
coding setup, they're all
it's gonna
show
be
up there.
sitting
So
in
if anything
suspense.
needs to be
Right.
Now,
changed
with
from
a
any of your details,
Modern,
that quote, you'll be able to
American
change.
Modern wants you to put the 071 in the front of it. Let's see if I can find one. See how all the American Moderns have 071? But when they issue the policy, it starts with the 103953379. When you enter it into Epic, you have to put the 071 in order for that to download with the correct line type and the correct dates. All right.
Get a quote is when you log in next to it says
What
yes.
other questions are coming through?
And
Does anybody
also
have any
now,
questions on downloads
if you
while we're
wanted to
here
quote
on this?
Auto and home at the same time as
This
package.
one's kind of about
So let's say that
download,
you
but I
were
don't
just on
know
auto
if we might have to look into it specifically.
submit to
Because
carriers.
it says, why do
Obviously,
things
it's free.
not show up on the suspense report, but then
Information.
I'm assuming in
You're
suspense, but show up on the
able
issue, but not
submit
download
both
report months
auto
later.
and home to see what you could get
And
Okay,
she said that I
so
found
if you're-
items today in the suspense recycle
And
bin
you
that
would
never
then
showed
fill
up
out
on a
the whole
report that she
information,
checks every
and then
single
when you
day.
Submit it to carriers, it would give
If you
quotes for
are
both auto and
if
home.
you have a shared code, if you're using a shared code,
So,
it's not gonna show up on your
what I'm
daily
gonna do
download report.
Is I'm gonna find out.
Mhm.
If you,
about, American Modern for you.
we'll have to
Progressive,
check your
and,
report, Kate, because you should
Foremost.
have it set
And
up
if you can't
to where you
enter
see all those
your
on your
American
report.
National, information. piece
Yeah,
here,
it
Why
depends
do
on which
you
reports
think
you're
you
looking
get
at.
set up, get some quotes
So
done.
there's like a
Yeah.
policies
If
received
not,
report.
Just.
And again, if you're using a shared code, those policies would not show up on that
until you
report.
get,
So it's,
Those other.
if you want to email us the policy number that you're
logins,
referring to, I'm definitely happy to
You
take a
know, at
look.
this time, since you've already been doing it, that you can
Big
go
deal.
directly to
Yeah.
carriers. You can be.
Yeah,
quoted
I'm really
it's
curious
totally
to
fine.
find
We
out
just wanna
why
make
that
sure
did
we
not
set up
come up
easy
on
links.
your
Or even if we have
report.
time later
So
today,
if you-
during the call, we
Quoting,
can
so
maybe
you're
look
not
at it
going
later,
through
but
the
too.
whole process.
Yeah, Kate, we could do that for sure.
Quote back.
All right.
And
And
Um,
travelers, you don't
Mhm.
put the
Megan, I'm
spaces or the
going
dashes
to,
in.
mhm. And we have all that, all those little kind of, I mean, not all of them, but some of those little things that happen with the policy numbers we have on a spreadsheet, that you should all have. That shows you like which carriers download and things like that, but also we have a little sheet on it that talks about those little weird things that carriers do.
I'm
gonna see if it'll let me put it in the chat here.
Go over it.
Are you gonna, did you
Alright,
just say you're gonna
so
put
I'm
it in
gonna
the
shoot
chat?
off
I'm gonna
these
try to.
questions
It
for you,
might not let me,
and
but I'm gonna give it my
I will
best
let you
bet.
know,
If not,
what to
we'll
do
email it
with
over
that
to you guys,
additional stuff, okay?
so you have it.
All right,
Um,
yeah, of course, have a great day. Oh, you know what, Megan, there are.
Then we
two
have two other
to
questions.
post.
One,
They were supposed to send them to you today, so I will make sure you get them by the end of the day.
okay, so let's start with actually this other one
Alright.
first. So what do we
Yeah, of
do
course. Have a great day, guys.
in the case of shared
Right.
codes? If there's just in suspense, how do we prevent that? So if it's a shared code, you can't really do anything to prevent it. You would just have to then come to suspense and find it. And Joyce, I'm not sure, have you done, if you haven't done download training yet, I think that, yeah, this might be a little like early for you to, oh, you have done it? Okay.
Joyce is not.
Oh. Have you
So
done the
with the
download training or
shared
just
code-
the Epic training? Anyway,
Said Friday, you didn't.
No, because I wasn't here
Well,
Friday. It would have been me.
Yeah, it could
Um,
have been with Taylor, but,
Sure.
she's not sure she knows the difference. So your EPIC training is everything that would have gone through, it's called the Go Live training in
Yeah,
EPIC. So
that's
you
what she
would have
did. Mhm.
had that training with Taylor, and you would have walked through all of this, entering in a policy. Catherine will do your training on downloads and suspense.
And just so you
So
know
if
too, that's usually about 6 weeks after your go live date. So this might just be a little early. So it's not bad to hear this information, but that's probably why there's a lot of questions. Because in about 6 weeks,
Mhm.
we'll give you the training to do online, and then you'll do a live session with me, and then we'll go over it all in more depth.
Okay. Oh, here's another one too. Progressive likes to put the TT
Mhm.
in front of their policy number for a travel trailer, an MC for a motorcycle. And if you click find, it's not finding it. But if I take that TT out of the bottom and click find, hopefully that was going to find it. But anyway, you want to make sure that you're putting those policy numbers in correctly. You can see the MC. So if you're looking for your download and you come into suspense here, you can look at it by your account name, and it's always the first name. Okay, so Joyce has 8 policies to enter into EPIC. Awesome. So we can definitely help you with that as well. All right, any other questions on download in suspense while I'm here? Because I'm going to jump into something else to see what you guys might have questions on.
I don't see any more
All right, I
questions
think-
on that.
Okay. Reports. I'm going to jump into reports. Everybody receives a whole bunch of reports. So if you don't have your report set up, and if you're new, you will work with me on reports here shortly. If you are been with us for a while, then you should already have your report set up, and then they should be coming to you. So Kate, is that report, that producer report, is that set up correctly now for you? Because I want to make sure. Great. Now, and I'm going to use Kate as a for instance. So Kate needed a different report set up than a canned report that we already have in here. So if there is something that you are looking for and you would like a report set up a little differently, we can do that. We can set up reports by your branch, by your profit centers. We can set up, any specific splits or anything that you may have. We have all kinds of different books of business reports, if you're looking for any, that we can give to you. So if the reporting that you're receiving, just let me know. Shoot us over an email, create a ticket on Atlas, and let us know what kind of reports that you're looking for. So that's reports. Does anybody have any question on a report? All right, I don't see any. Now I want to show you something new. So if you're not paying attention, you might want to on this. So I'm going to locate my own policy. And I'm going to come over here to policies. Now this is my own. You got my address. If you want to send me flowers, you can. I wouldn't object to it. All right, so if you're following along and you are on one of your clients, you're on the policy screen, and I have a motorcycle policy. Down here, see these blue hyperlinks where it says, you can go right to the policy, claim, billing. Heather, I'll show you that here in 1 second. You can click on this, and it will take you into the carrier that you are looking for, and it will log you in. But you have to set this up on the back end. So when you set it up on the back end, it's going to bring you, and because this is my demo environment, we'll see if it will take us there. I don't think it will. But you're going to log right in, and let me show you how to do that. All right, let me go back here. So you're going to go to, you are going to go to real time. You see real time up at the top. There is a little drop down, and you're going to go to local security. So you're on your policy screen, real time, the little drop down, and you're going to go to local security. Now, when you see the local security products, these are the carriers that participate in real time. So you would just scroll down, find the carrier, let's just say it's Allstate. You need to highlight all of the carriers that are listed here for that specific Allstate. So you have one under their website for billing, for loss runs. You would edit the credentials. You would put in your username, password, confirm it, update it. Then, for the first time, when you click on it and you go to the policy, it's going to ask you to log in. Then the next time you do it, it's just going to take you right into the carrier. It's going to take you right to that client. It's such a time saver. So you want to make sure you go, let me get back out of this. This is real time. We're going to view the drop down and go to local security. And this is absolutely an amazing feature that you guys should be using. Has anybody used this? Nobody? Okay. So real time, drop down, local security. Now, Heather had a question that she had a duplicate. So if you look at my screen here, I have my active policy, and then I have an inactive policy. So I had a duplicate here as well. And this one is a prospect. So all I need to do is inactivate it, and I can go here, inactivate it. I can choose my duplicate, and then I click finish. This is going to make this inactive. You cannot delete, there's no delete over here to the left. You cannot delete an account that you entered in. Now, if you have two clients of the same that are both insured and you entered a policy into one and a policy into another, you have to manually convert the one policy to the other one. And what I like to think about is, was there commission paid on either one of them? Did you write a home policy, commission came in, then you wrote an auto policy later, you put that in a different client account, and that one wasn't paid? I always like to use the one that has commission because the commission transactions will not be transferred to the other one. So I always like to do that one. Or if you have home, auto, umbrella on one, and then you have a boat policy on the other, just take that boat policy, and then you have to manually re-enter it into the other accounts, and then flat cancel the one that it shouldn't be in, and then right-click on it, and then inactivate it. Does that help, Heather? Is there one that you wanted me to pull up and show you what to look at? Okay. So the other thing that, since I'm here too, that I wanted to show you guys is how you can check to see if you've been paid commission on a policy. And I'm going to just use mine. So if I go over here to transactions, over to the left, and what I see a lot of times when we're training, when you don't have to double click it to bring it up. All you have to do is be on your clients and then go ahead and click transactions. So when you click transactions, it's going to bring up any policies that were reconciled. Did you guys know that you could do this? because this is a great way to make sure that you've been paid commission. So if I come back over to my policies, I also have my policy column set up to where I can see commission that was already paid. So now, just to tell you, I have life policies for my kids that are not here in the office, that I just put in here. I put in here because I want to keep track of them. So they're here, but I'm not going to get commission off of them. But on my one policy, I'm going to receive commission. And if I change up here to policies all except marketed, it shows me the whole history of the clients. I can see that I've been paid on all of these older policies. Then if I go to transactions, as long as you have your column set up here at the top, you will see all of your commission that was downloaded. Now, if I look over here, this one here, the June 2024 means I received my commission July 2024. It's always the month following what's under accounting month here in Epic. Everybody got that? Any questions on transactions? Anything that I might have missed, Taylor, on transactions?
The only thing that I could add is that if you're setting up your columns at the top to reflect what it says there, accounting month within range, January 2009 through January 2099, to make sure that that is reflected in each account, you would want to go up to filter defaults at the top, click the use as default box, and then hit OK. And that way that filter will show up for every account that you create.
Great catch. All right, perfect. All right, any questions on the transactions? All right, and I'm sure you guys are all doing your attachments. I'm sure you're putting all the attachments here and you're using the Epic browser. And one of the new features with using the Epic browser is you get to see what you attached right over here in this little preview. So you don't have to go through and open up all kinds of different attachments to find the one you're looking for, because you can just preview it right over here to the right. Another thing too, there's so many new, I was just at AppliedNet, Applied Systems for Epic last week. There are so many new features that are coming out that I'm going to have to do a whole nother Live with Laura, a whole other thing to show you guys what's new and what's coming up. It's amazing at some of these things and what they're, the tools that they're using to use for AI. And a lot of them are going to be so cool because it's going to take your attachments, your emails, and summarize it in the comment section. So you'll be able to see that. It's going to be so cool. All right, let's move on. Is there any questions on activities? How about activities? Which one? Sure. So I got my stuff closed. Let me just open this up. All right, I am going to take, here's my attachments. All I need to do is just highlight it and drag it. See how it's hanging out here? And when I drop it, it's thinking, I'm going to get where I want to attach it to. Do I want to attach it to the account? Do I want to attach it to a policy? I can attach it to my policies that are active. I can change the description. One thing I always recommend is put the date, the line of business, the carrier, and what it is. So that way you can find it a little easier when you're looking for them. Now, if I can mark it as important. So if it's something I want to keep up at the top because I'm still working on it, maybe it's quote sheets or a deck page, whatever it may be, I can mark it as important and it will go to the top. I can change my folders and I can put it in, if it's, an e-signature, I can go through and put it in a folder. And then I can click finish. Oh, of course. I don't need to follow up on it, so I'm just going to close the activity. And here it is right here. It's up at the top. And it's up at the top because I have these dates up here as well. All right, so that is attachments. Did that help, Tim? The other thing that I think you guys might like, I just closed my email. Let me open it back up, is dragging and dropping all of your emails. So if you have emails with your clients and you're saying, they're like, hey, can you have this auto? And you're like, great, yeah. And then you're sending them auto ID cards and they're giving you the VIN numbers or appraisals or any of that. All you need to do is, let me get this over here, is see how I'm dragging and dropping this attachment. Now it's still staying in my email and I can mark it as important and I can change it. I can put it in a different folder. Let's put it in billing. And then when I click finish, I dragged and I dropped. Oh, let me pick which branch. Drag and drop email. So now I have it here. So I have record that I had conversations back and forth with my client, or maybe it's an underwriter or a claims adjuster. Anything that you are going to need to keep track of, this is going to help protect your E&O. Document, document, document everything that comes in. If they're sending you the appraisal, drag and drop it in here. If they're calling you, then come over here to activities and create an activity. Be the activity kings and queens of your agency to help protect your E&O. If your client is calling you saying, hey, I paid my bill, go to activities, click the plus sign, and create that activity. Now, there's a lot of different activities that are here in the drop-down, but I like to use just a couple. So we have billing, we have the phone call from who, from, let's say, Laura called, fast, and then I can put a note in here if I wanted to. And then I can save and I can go to detail, or I can just save it. I can choose to keep it open. I can follow up on it on another day, whatever it may be, it'll be right here. If I need to add another note, all I have to do is click the plus sign and add another note. These are all dates and time stamps. So look, I've got some errors here in my spelling. I can't edit it. I can't change it. I can't edit. I can't do anything. Can't delete it. And it's going to stay here. So this is what's going to help protect your E&O. We have several agents over the years who have had E&O claims where we had to go into their account, Applied Systems had to go in, extract all of the client's activities and present that to them to show, hey, look, I tried reaching out to them. They had no coverage because they didn't supply me with the appraisal, the correct VIN number. You know, I tried reaching out. You can see the phone calls. You can see the emails that I tried to. They can go in and get all this information. If you are not using your activities in Epic, you are opening yourself up to some E&O exposure. So it's really important to make sure that you are going in here creating activities. You can add this to your calendar. So on the day that you have it here, it will show up. And all you have to do then is put in the time and the end date. And then when I close out of this, I have an open activity. Now, this is to follow up on the 22nd. So on the 22nd, I'm going to see this on my home screen underneath my open activities. Now, my open activities are a little out of control here, but I do use this as my demo account. So your activities, this is what you need to do for your client. So here's an activity note. Carriers are now downloading notes from the carrier. So let's say you have a traveler's account. It's set up on EFT, automatic, withdrawals for their payments, and it bounces. It's an NSF. You're going to get a notification of that on your eDoc activity report that either is set up daily or weekly or monthly for you. So that's the eDoc activity report. So you want to make sure you're looking at that report, and when you're all done working on this for your client, right click or click action, and all you got to do is close it, and it will go away. If you ever need to go back through and look at any of them, just click the little drop down, and you'll be able to see all of the activities you have for your clients. So use activities. You can also add claims. You can, and this is a true claim for me, and here it is, but it's closed. So what I should have done was closed it. And I can come in here and I can put the date of when it closed. So this is a great way for you to keep an eye on the claims that you have for your clients. And you have a claims report that should be coming to you daily. It might be coming to you weekly or monthly. The claims are when you come in here, when you're going to remarket it, and you have a client who's like, hey, it just went up $1,000. You can look at the claims and say, hey, you just had a claim right at renewal. So of course your premium went up a little bit. And in this hard market that we're having, everybody's are going up. So taking a look at this and saying, I'm sorry, you have claims, I have nowhere to put you, yeah. Whatever it is that you are going to be working on and telling your clients. Okay, any questions on anything to do with an account? Another thing that I wanted to show you guys, if you didn't have any other questions, was if you have a client who moves. So now I'm in Mokene, Illinois. I'm going to move to the Hamptons. What you're going to do is use this account and just change the address here. You're just going to change the address here. You want to keep the same account for every location. Anytime you move, anything that happens, use the same one. So you have all the activities, you have all the attachments, you have all of the transactions. You want to make sure that you have all of this for the client rather than having to jump back and forth and looking for the other one where they lived in Illinois. So you want to use this same account. Now, in the event you need to separate the two accounts, I don't want to jinx myself, but since I'm on my account, you can't just separate an account in Epic. You would have to create another account so in this case, for my husband Ty, he would have to have his own account. I would have my own account in Epic. And then what I like to look at is who's staying in the house, because that's the main account I'm going to keep for this one here. And the other person who moves out, then I'm going to put, their auto or renters or home or whatever they're going to do on a different one. And you might not remember this, what I just said, until it happens. Just create a support ticket in Atlas and we'll walk you through those steps again. But just note, you can't combine them and you can't separate them that easily. You have to create a new account for that and enter in the other policy. Some carriers, if a client, if they're getting divorced, they are divorced, and then you have the home, but the spouse's names are still on the home, you still need to keep that client on that policy if they are still on the mortgage. But you have to talk with your carriers in regards to that. All right, any questions on that? All right, I see no questions. Contacts. I'm always telling everybody, put everybody in the house here in contacts. That way, if you are going to cross-sell or you're going to run any reports, you are going to be able to find any of the clients. Now, my kids are grown on their own, so they have their own accounts. But what I like to do is when they were younger, I can't rave enough about the AAA membership. It's their, their not rental reimbursement, but their auto club. When they had that, I ran reports for my clients for teenagers between the ages of 16 and 20, and then marketed the AAA membership to them, because I believe everybody who has kids should definitely have that, especially if they're away at school. And I can only get that information if I have it under contacts. So that's why you want to make sure you have that. Now, my mother-in-law lives with us, and I should have her name here, because then I could market to any kind of Medicare supplements. I can pull that information out of Epic, but she has her own auto policy, so she has her own account. So when I do run the report, it's going to be there. But putting in all the kids, no matter how old they are, you'll be able to cross-sell to them. Hopefully you guys are doing that. All right, so we went over policies, proofs of insurance. You can come in here and do your evidence of insurance. So you have a client who is closing on a home October 1st. The mortgage company is saying, hey, we need an evidence of insurance for this policy. The one thing that I recommend doing, don't issue that policy. Do not issue that policy with the carrier, because 9 times out of 10, those closing dates are changing. So then you got to go back to the carrier. They are going to cancel that policy, rewrite that policy with the new dates. The cancellation download has to come through. You have to enter in a new policy. My suggestion is to get the money, because you have binding authority and you need to check with your carrier reps to make sure you do, and then do the evidence out of here. Then when they close, they tell you they closed, then you issue everything. You can also do certificates of insurance right here, and I can show you, it's an accord form. So when you click the plus sign, and I always like to put in the master and put in the dates, and I'm going to click detail, and this is going to be my accord 1/4/25 right here. So you see that down the bottom. This is your accord. So you're going to come in and you're going to put in all your information and your holders, and then you can do your certificates of insurance right here out of Epic. You don't have to go find an accord form, go to the carrier. You can do it all right here in Epic. How are you guys doing your issuing your certificates of insurance? If somebody can just chat in. Tim, are you doing any certificates of insurance? All right. Mary, anybody doing certificates of insurance? Very quiet out there. All right, so you can do those here. We do have learning paths in our LMS for that. That's our learning management system. If you need to know how to, all you have to do. All right, so you're doing them through the carrier. Okay. And if you don't, and you run across a carrier that doesn't, or they're telling you to go get the accord form, you can do your certificates of insurance right here. I always do them through here. It's the go-to for sure. If it downloads, all the information is there, especially for your, when you have a lot of different vehicles or locations, you're going to get all that information. All right. Any questions on an account? No questions on that. No questions on reports. You guys are whizzes at reports. So that is good. Downloads. You guys got downloads to a T. Joyce is going to get her download training. Heather, have you had download training yet? Yes, perfect. All right, so if there's ever any of your downloads that are here and you're looking at it and you're like, wait a minute, I can't find it. It's in here. I know I put it in here. Check on history and perspective and click find again. Oh, look, here it is. So here is the renewal. What we're missing here in Epic is the 2023 to 2024 download. And this is downloading, or they entered it in as a mobile home. And look, it's an auto. So travel trailers, motorcycles, those are all auto policies. If you're riding a home, that's a home policy. Dwelling fire is a fire policy. A condo and a renter's policy are a home policy. That's how they download. And if you're ever wondering, how is this policy, how am I supposed to enter it into Epic? How is the policy number supposed to be listed? Just come in here to Suspense and look for that download, or look at the carrier. See how Travelers has no spaces. They issue it with spaces, but when you put it into Epic, they don't. And like Catherine had said before, we have a cheat sheet on that we can send you. Did you put that in there, Catherine?
No, because it won't let me attach documents.
Oh, it won't in there?
No,
Okay,
no.
we'll send it to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have it, we will send that over to you. But you might, Greg, do you have a copy of that?
It's the same spreadsheet
did
that
my
tells you which
master.
carriers do and don't download, and tells you which, how to like reach out to carriers for requesting downloads and things. But yeah, if you don't have it and you want me to send it to you, let me know in the chat and I'll send it to you guys right now.
Yep, Greg needs it, Heather needs it. You know what, I'm gonna pull it up here. All right, let me get it.
Yeah, I think that's the best, one of the best resources that we have when it comes to downloads.
All right, I'm gonna open it up and show you guys. All right. So if you open it up and you see, okay, there's a bunch of tabs down below. So, ooh, downloads what? Here is a list. Oh, mine's not updated. Of all the carriers. Now, this is a global search through Ivans for all the carriers. And if you go through and you take a look at this ACE, it's going to show you what they download. And that's exactly what you want to see. So if you're like, hey, does that even download? All you got to do is come in here, here's Aegis, and look at this line. And you'll see, oh yeah, this auto policy or the home policy, dwelling fire, that's going to download for me. Now we also have another tab down here is the policy line types. It's really important to make sure that you know, a commercial auto is a CA-S. The other one is the general liability, the GL-S. And a lot of times people are putting in the GAIL, whereas the carriers download as the GL-S. Workman's comp. So you can take a look at all of these, and that should be helpful for you. Now here is a little cheat sheet that we have, and if you can see this one at the bottom for travelers, don't add the dashes or the spaces. You're just going to put it in just like this. And then that American Modern one is the 071. Now, some of the carriers download with the next renewal will be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just going to keep continuously going on. It should find it. So if it's a 1 and it's renewing as a 2, it should find it for you automatically. If it doesn't and you see it in suspense, you're going to need to go back to suspense and see that 1, take the 1 out, just leave it blank, and then click the find button for it to find the policy for you. And then you can attach that new download, that renewal download, to the old policy. And Catherine and Taylor can show you that when they're doing trainings with you as well. But here's a little cheat sheet. Now, we don't have all those carriers, all that information that you guys have. If you see one, add it here. You can put it in here. Make it your own. Here's the different carriers on who to use. So if you're writing with, CNA, that's the ICO code that you should be using. Oh, the other thing that real quick that I wanted to talk about too when I'm done with this is package policies. Now, this is how to request another download. Let's say that you can't find it in suspense. You cannot find it in the recycling bin. Here's going to show you who to contact to get those downloads. Now, I don't have all the information on every carrier, so make it your own and add your own carriers and their phone numbers in there. But I got quite a few. All right, here's transaction codes. I get a lot of people on the first of every month saying, what is this DBED? Okay, that's a direct bill endorsement. So you can take a look at these as well. Installments, we see those a lot, even more so in this hard market, that carriers are now paying in installments. So when they receive the money, then they're going to send us the money. Then we're going to reconcile it. So you will see that. I've also seen that some of them carriers are paying the new business term upfront, and then at renewal, they're doing installments. That's something you can talk to your carrier rep about as well. All right, got a couple more minutes here. I want to show you what a packaged policy should look like. I'm going to go into policies. Now, a packaged policy is a policy that a carrier issues with the same policy number. So NatGen issues policies with the same policy number. So you would enter that in by clicking the plus sign, and then you're going to add in the PCK1. You're going to put that policy number in. You're going to put your dates. Your issuing company, and I'm going to put in NatGen. Oh, there we go. I'm going to choose I'm on my client. This is my training account. So when you click the use commission agreement, it should populate. You can do this drop down and pick the correct commission that it should be. And then I'm going to put 0 for the premium. I'm not going to put in a premium here because I'm going to show you here, I'm going to delete this line. So I'm going to go to detail. And here's my follow-up on my download. I'm closing this because I'm just testing it with you guys. And now when it opens up, my lines of business are up at the top. I have that PCK1, but now I'm going to add in the lines of business in the package. So I'm going to add in a home. I'm going to choose my commission agreement. It should populate for you. Now I'm going to put in what my home premium is. So I'm going to put that in. Now I'm going to add my other line. I'm going to click add. And now I'm going to add in my auto policy. And I'm going to just keep going with how many policies that are included into that package. And then I'm going to click finish. Now I'm not done. So now I want to come back up here to this PCK1 line, if you don't delete this line, if you don't delete it, your download's going to go to suspense. Because it's looking for a packaged policy for home and auto. I'm going to leave it in process, and then when my download comes through, it's going to change my stage from in process, oh, here it comes. Okay, so when the download comes through, it will change my stage from in process to issued. That's when we know we're doing it, it's coming through, everything is perfect once that download comes through. But if you don't put in the policy as a package and it downloads, you're going to see, let me clear my filter, it's going to attach the home and the auto to that one line if you are assigning it from the auto. Let me show you what it looks like here in suspense. Okay. Auto, home, here we go. Here's the home, and here's the auto, same policy numbers. This is a packaged policy. So when I click the find button, of course, it should find it down below. It's not going to. And here is the policy, but I'm missing the 24, the 25 term, I'm missing the renewal for this one. But you'll have it in here. But if you didn't, see how they only have it in here as an auto? They didn't put it in as a package. If I go ahead and assign this for this agency, it's going to take both of these lines, the home and the auto, and put it under an auto, not as a package. So you are not going to see it look like it should. And then you have the different lines of premium, so you'll have those in there. That's a packaged policy. Same for commercial. If you have a commercial client, you're going to do the same thing for a packaged policy. So if the GL and the property are the same policy number, you're going to put it in using the CPKG and then all the different lines of business. You're going to put those in because the policy number is going to be the same. If the policy number is different, it's not a package policy. So you want to make sure that you're looking at your policies. And you'll see that in suspense that they're the same. And you'll get to know which carriers do packages as you're writing them. All right, any questions? Any questions? I know we kind of just whizzed through a lot of this stuff. I just wanted to make sure that you guys could ask questions to us if you have any. We just wanted to review real time, because that is so important, real time, real convenience. So it's down here, real time. And then make sure you set it up using local security. If you forget, just create a ticket. Create a ticket in Atlas and we can help you and give you the information for real time. Greg, I don't think I have it download for citizens. Let me look. I don't. While you're still here, let me, look. Just give me a second. And I'll pull this up for you. And make sure we have Citizens. So Citizens does download. And of course, I don't have any information. I apologize. Catherine or Taylor, can one of you chat Sierra and see if she has a contact for Citizens so we can get it to Greg? If It's okay. I know it's Citizens Creek. I wish we do have a contact for them. And they do download because we pay for their downloads, so we know that they do download. All right, any questions on billing, on your accounting reports, your invoices, or outstanding commission? I want to make sure that you guys completely understand every time you get on the first of the month your producer report, you go into Atlas, you look at it, you understand it. You also get the outstanding commissions emailed to you. Soon it will be in Atlas. Soon it will show you. When you log in, you're going to say, Tim's logging into Atlas, and it's going to show, Tim, you have these policies on the outstanding commissions report. Please go in and enter them in, and then you just check a box, and it's done. We can't wait. Catherine, this is like her biggest thing she's so excited about. It's going to be totally instantaneously sent over to our accounting department for them to reconcile commission. So it's going to be awesome. Absolutely. Big improvement on that. So make sure you create your Atlas account. Make sure you're looking at that outstanding commissions. You see a policy on there, enter it into Epic, email outstanding@asnoa.com, the policy number and the name so they can reconcile commissions. All right, any other questions that you guys may have? None? None? All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm
I
going
got
to
us a
share my other-
contact.
Yay!
What I was also
Putting it in
gonna
the
say,
chat
Laura-
for you.
What I was also gonna say, Laura, is Greg asked if we knew if there's gonna be an ETA on when outstanding commission is gonna be in Atlas.
Don't hold me to it, but I'm gonna say by the end of the year.
Tentatively end of the
Well,
year.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. All right. Here's all our resources. You know, Joyce, take advantage, Mary, you know, I know Greg and Tim, they know all this. Make sure that, you know, you're taking advantage of going to asnoa.com, going to our Asnoa University, utilizing our weekly services, reading our newsletter that comes out on the first of every month. We're giving you a lot of information. It's our way to come back and give it all to everybody in one source, and that would be through the Brew and stuff. Brew Horizons, and it's our education newsletter. And you're going to want to make sure to read all of the emails that we send out to you until we get all the emails into Atlas. That's going to be our way of giving you all the information that you do need, and it's going to be in Atlas. And you can check out the resources that are in there. It's going to be extremely helpful to you. Oh, I still have my Let's Jam in 2024. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to be jamming, you know. We want you to be getting in all of our webinars, all of the learning that you can, so you can build your agency. And I know we're at time, so I want to thank you guys very much. Let me know what you want to see in upcoming Live with Laura's. And always remember to be epic, because that's what we're all about, guys. So have a great day. Thanks for jumping on with us today, and we will see you again shortly. Hopefully, I'm going to see you guys all at the Asnoa Connect conference. Have a great day.